did you know May is Texas Writers Month? We love supporting local authors. So today we're joined by Brian Cranley to discuss his upcoming book, The Call of Wonder. I like the title. Brian, good morning.
Good morning, Rosie. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Let's talk about why Texas Writers Month is so important, especially for a first-time author like you.
Yeah, great question. So writing a book is a big project, I realized, as a first-time author. Now I realize the second big project is getting the word out. How do you let people know, as a total unknown, who you are and what your book's about? So shows like Studio 512 and my PR team, PR by the Book, help with that a ton. So Texas Writers Month gives us that kind of awareness that we need.
Wonderful. Yeah, it kind of gives you the platform to say, hey,
Right.
I'm here.
Right.
Check me out. Let's talk about the story, The Call of Wonder, because it came to you.
Yeah.
And so I'm really interested to hear about what it's about.
Yeah.
And then apparently we learn how you became a writer.
Yeah, both cool stories. But the book is about the connections between faith and science. And so it kind of makes the claim that God reveals himself in science. And so when we discover things about like the Big Bang or biologic evolution, real scientific things, the book says that God's image kind of comes into focus as the creator more.
Hey, I'm on there right now.
Kind of contrary to what some people think. And so
Yeah.
it really deals with that
Okay.
struggle that many of us live with, myself included, which is how do I reconcile a genuine love for science with a rational belief in God? And I think it came out, it's pretty cool. So
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Well, and so I had no idea. I didn't know if The Call of Wonder meant that we're heading into a forest and it's a fiction book
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
What would you label the genre as? Who should
Yeah.
be a reader for this book?
Yeah, so it really goes after people that love science and people that kind of want to know more about the logical arguments for God. So the first half of the book deals with philosophy, kind of Aristotle, Plato, Aquinas, and how these ideas of a rational idea for God came into being. And then the second half deals with all of our modern scientific discoveries, people like myself that love images of deep space from the James Webb Telescope, or even, just looking up at the Milky Way on a clear night. It's for those people. That sense of wonder is what drives scientists, philosophers, and theologians. So it's kind of for everyone.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is there research in the book, or is it kind of
Yes.
your exploration?
Well, let me tell you how the idea for the book came about. Because
Sure.
I have a random background on one side in biomedical engineering, and on the other side, I have a degree in philosophy and theology. And so my whole life,
This book was happening.
I've kind of sat with these two sides and wondered, how does this go together? And then one day I was watching a YouTube video talking about the very beginning of the Big Bang, the first moment of the universe, and the way that the scientists described the first moment of the universe was exactly how the ancient philosophers described God. And in that moment, I was like, oh my gosh, maybe these two do go together. So that's kind of how the book came about, and it grew from there, talking about biology and evolution and the human mind, things that, just fascinating topics, and how they go together is kind of super cool. So
You're gonna hear a little something about, I don't know, maybe the way I believe, by me adding in here,
Yeah.
the Fibonacci sequence showing up in nature
Yeah.
is pine cones, y'all, Romanesco,
Yeah.
cruciferous vegetables, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think that is kind of the argument
there's definitely
that's
a
happening.
mind behind everything.
Right,
Yeah, so
yeah.
that kind of comes through. Yeah, and that's definitely all in the book. So.
Oh, that's really interesting. Okay. I do want to ask what you're hoping for this book, and, about who you really want it to fall into the hands of. Is it people like you who have this kind of natural curiosity about the two coming together?
Yeah, good question. When you write a book, I've learned you have to really specify a target reader. So my target reader for this book is the person who has left a belief in God because of a love of science and the belief that the two are irreconcilable. So that person, but it's also for anybody that just kind of wants to learn more about their faith or wants to learn more about science. There's a little something in there for everybody, but it's really trying to provide reason to believe, a rational, belief behind your faith. So that's kind of the target.
How much research did you have to put into this book? How many years was this in the making?
25 years, a master's degree, a bachelor's. I didn't know I was preparing for the book, but it's all gone in there. And then I had to go back, because it's been 20 years. I had to go back and research all that again. So it took me 4 years to write, and then another year to edit. So
Wow.
I'm excited. It's coming out in August, so it's coming out pretty soon.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
I
you.
mean, 20 plus years in the making, something you got to
So
be
get
proud
ready.
of. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm glad that you did bring up a target date.
Yes.
So this is coming out later this summer, and where will we be able to get it?
You can pre-order on Amazon right now.
Okay.
It's called The Call of Wonder. Pre-order on Amazon. It comes out commercial release August 5th, hopefully in bookstores and everywhere. But if you go to my website, briancranley.com, you can read chapter 1 right now. We just uploaded it, so it's available for everyone.
I think that's really cool to offer chapter 1 for free. That
Yeah.
way people get a taste.
Yeah.
And I know you're secretly thinking, I hope I get them hooked.
Yeah.
Please
Buy the
order
book.
my
Buy
book.
the book.
Congratulations, Brian, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Rosie. Appreciate
All right. Okay, guys, as you heard him say, pre-order Brian's book on Amazon or head to his website to read the first chapter for free and learn more, briancranley.com.